rate, please subscribe. Thank you.
I think also for any creatives, because I know I got a lot of people that follow me that are writers, actors, producers, designers, people that are in the world of like taking something from here and putting it out to the whole world. Do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was one of the few things that I would say that kind of slowed me down, was being like, is the world ready to hear this? Is the world ready to hear me say this? Is the world, you know? And at the end of the day, like, again, to my creatives, like, you gotta do that. You gotta do that, because no one else could do it for you. They'll have a different perspective. They'll have a different list of, you know, whatever. So just in case anybody else tuned in doesn't know, like, yes, it's been 6 years since I put out a full body of work, but I put out a lot of music in the last few years. I put out 9 music videos, I think, and I don't know how many writing exercises. They were asking, do you remember their name?
Alexi.
Shout out to Alexi. Great question. They were asking what I'm gonna do with some of the writing exercises that I put out, and have I considered putting them as a playlist or something on DSPs? And the answer is yes. I have thought about it. Right now, I want to focus on Starline as it is, and I think what I'm really interested in, to be honest with you, is the in-person activation. So I've been doing the writings on the wall for a long time, where I've been like allowing fans in to hear the songs on the album before they come out, and I think I'm going to continue doing those. I don't know how soon they're going to start popping up, but I think I'm going to keep doing those and keep, you know, sharing the music, some of the music that didn't go on the project, with you guys in that way. But I think when it comes to like doing a playlist or like putting it on streaming, I don't see why I wouldn't. Like songs like The Heart and the Tongue should be on streaming. Songs like I'm a Mess. None of these songs, I don't think, they actually don't have titles. A lot of the writing exercises are just called writing exercise number 10,000 or whatever. But I have thought about it. I've thought about it for sure. I don't think that there's anything I was necessarily scared to talk about that I talked about on this album. I think I talked a lot more freely and from my heart about certain issues, certain, like, and not even issues, but just things in my life. From like, if we're talking about my relationship to fame and how I see it, my relationship to love. You know, I've always talked about my relationship with the mother of my kids. I've always talked about, you know, how this industry is fucked up. I've made little pieces of comments about what it's like, because, you know, never forget I'm black. I've talked about my experience, but I feel like this album is, you know, especially with the times, it's just a little bit more to the point. So I also think like I'm a little bit more willing to play a character in this. Like I think in the past, a lot of my music, you know, I present as an artist, but I also present as like an artist that's like, I'm telling my story right now. Like, I'm rapping to you as a man right now, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, this is my life. This is my life. And I think there's a few more songs on this than some of the songs in the past that are, you know, more of a character or from someone else's perspective. People, when you listen to music, the first things that you hear before the words or the, you know, the meaning behind the words is you hear melody first, then rhythm. You catch a beat and you ride to a specific backbeat or groove. Then you hear, it goes pitch, tone, rhythm, then melody. And then after like a while, you start to pick up on words and what those words mean in that sequence. Not to try and get super scientific about you, but this is how I understand your first listen to be. And so I think people are gonna like it because all of those things are just like well put together in terms of the sound of it. And I think it'll take a little time for people to like listen and be like, oh. You know what I mean? And I think to assist in that, you know, music videos, in-person activations, interviews, you know, touring, you know, some of the stuff that we've been shooting internally that we're gonna start dropping. We got this episodic series coming out soon called Road to Starline. I think that'll give some people some context for why for what the writing is, what the meanings are, what the examples are, what I'm talking about. I think the way that my brain works, I would have to write the movie first and then write the songs to fit into it rather than vice versa. A lot of my, you know what I'm saying, best songs start off as concept first. Same Drugs, which is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. It started off as a concept and then it was written over different versions of the beat and different things before it became what it became. A lot of my songs, Space and Time, there's a record on this song called, there's a song on this record called Drapedomania that had 4 different beats and 10 different verses before it became the song that it is now. And The Heart and the Tongue, which a lot of people, like anybody that's been tuned in since I started dropping these writing exercises and stuff, a lot of people say, you know, The Heart and the Tongue is my most well-written song in this time period, which, you know, I never debate with people saying what my best stuff is. It's all by me. But the Heart and the Tongue was not a song that I just like wrote and then made a video for it. It was the need to have a video that I could direct that made me say, okay, if I want the video to feel like this and look like this and use these certain lighting changes and be focused on the lyrics, making the lyrics the central character or the star, and then making everything else delineated to the sides, these are the kind of lyrics that I need for it. So I wrote that song, The Heart and the Tongue, basically as like the long form script to this storyboarded video. So I think when it comes to making a visual album, rather than like making a bunch of songs and then being like, okay, how can I make a story around this? I would probably have to make the story first, storyboard that, and then make the songs that would fit into that film. What I think is like, artists create all the time, and sharing your work is like a whole different part of the process, and it can be nerve-wracking or it could be a beautiful like sigh of relief in that, you know, depending on how hard you're working, if you're scrambling to do something, if you're doing a bunch of and it doesn't really feel the same, and if you are able to be around friends and family and like just take a load off, which we gonna do. If there was some practice that I always do, is trying to surround myself with, you know, my people. Me being a dad is like, when I think of the time before me having a kid and the time after, it's like that's actually how I like look at my life. Like I used to look at it as these small little blips. If you think of a timeline with those little dots that say, then you did this, and then you did SNL, and then you did this. And now it's just like one dot in the middle where it's like before I had, you know, real purpose, and then through the now, you know, and like there's so many successes that you could have in music, like so many different types of moments that, you know, may make you feel really good or have an applause and stuff, but like it's still not the same. It's like at the end of the day I always gotta go home and my kids, like that's what is the real